And we're live. That was the awesome TOOMS with their new single Stampede, and I'm delighted to say I've been joined by everybody in TOOMS. How are we, lads?
Hello.
Shalom.
Man, thanks.
So we've Kieran, Anto and Alex.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Cork
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure.
in these desperate times.
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting times to be alive.
Yeah.
We're all wearing masks,
Oh yeah, we're all wearing masks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
has
I've no
suits.
nose.
head to toe and hand sanitizer.
And a ranting cling film.
We're all greasy.
Slippery.
And
Slippery.
you got through border patrol, no problem.
Yeah.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, it's getting interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations on the new single,
Thank you.
Stampede. Absolutely blew me away. I'm just trying to figure out, like, kind of what have been the best descriptions of it so far from friends, I suppose, first of all.
My buddy Carl called it a indescript war metal.
Okay,
So
interesting.
I take that one.
Low down, filthy,
Filthy,
Nasty.
It's
dirty.
always good.
yeah.
I like how the string of the word that gets said, like, whenever, like we've mentioned on this podcast a couple times.
Oh, nice one.
You know, we've got a few mentioned.
Of course.
But whenever a name comes up, I love how there's always someone that just goes, filthy. Ooh.
That's just because we have poor hygiene.
Yeah. Oh, those guys are dirty. Ugh.
Filth is a good description, I think. Like,
Yeah.
It is, isn't
Some
it?
pretty filthy riffs in there. And
Burning Metal was really
give
nice
us a
about
very
it.
good write-up,
They
yeah.
said, I really liked what they said about it. Like grindcore meets sludge.
Yeah. Like,
Cross-
shouldn't work.
cross-
Shouldn't
does,
work,
and
but it does.
Yeah.
Cross punk.
Yeah.
They gave us a fairly on point kind of
Yeah.
analysis, I
Yeah.
think. It's kind of nice to put.
And, the Rock and Load, is that what the magazine was called?
Oh yeah, Northern
After-
Ireland.
Yeah. They said we sounded like a psychotic break,
Yeah,
which is very good.
that's
I like
pretty
that.
class.
And
yeah.
sure, Danielle on here said we sound like one PMSing.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorites. That's my
was-
favorites.
That was
Yeah, no.
fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the best one.
I forgot about that actually. That's the best description so
Yeah.
far.
It
Sounds like how PMS feels.
Yeah.
Sorry, ladies.
Yeah.
That is what we were going for.
Yeah.
Inadvertently.
Tapping into
I'd find it hard to pin it down as well, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
just loud.
Yeah.
Nasty.
That's Danielle. Jesus, I forgot about that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
actually
the
have
best
been.
description.
You actually have been brought up a fair bit on the podcast, namely by me as well about the T-shirt, the T-shirt scandal.
Yeah, it's time to get down to brass tacks. So Richie,
We're here for one reason, really,
Yeah.
Richie.
I died laughing.
we calling you out, man.
I died laughing when you tagged me actually on the T-shirt. I was just going, "Oh Jesus, I'm gonna have to ride that wave for another bit anyway."
Well, thank you, because all publicity is good publicity.
Is-
We've
yeah.
had
Yes,
we've had
Several sales.
2 full sales since then.
Oh,
2
very
whole
good.
T-shirts.
TOOMS is all about that business.
Mm-hmm.
Here for the dollar bills.
Cream.
And actually, do you know what? Since we're on about T-shirts, I was lucky enough to see the design of the new T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Do you know, actually, we wanted to get a test press done,
Okay.
and we wanted to gift that to you, but the people that we've gone with,
Right.
they don't actually do a test press,
Okay.
but you'll be getting one for
All
sure.
right, fuck it, fair play.
If you like this one, Richie.
Yes, I do.
If it's good enough.
If it's
This-
good enough.
Jeez.
This is Simon Leis's one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's his
Uh,
artwork.
Yeah, you can catch him on Instagram, Lice for Life.
Okay, I want to talk about him because I obviously hadn't heard of him until I saw ye post the artwork. And then I went into his Instagram account. It's Lice for Life.
Lice for Life. Lice.for.life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Lads,
unbelievable, isn't he?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's good.
Australian?
Australian, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, I've been following him for a while. Like,
Yeah.
I like his prints anyway.
Hmm.
And
I,
I just
I,
thought-
I didn't know about him either till Alex suggested him. And
Yeah.
we were kind of looking for something that was sort of fine art, but could be applied to our music as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was.
Well, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you got that.
But
nailed anyway.
we asked him, and
He was
he
really
was
good to
like,
work
it
with.
was kind of. We gave him our budget, and he's like, that's kind of lower than what I normally go for. But he was really cool about it. He liked the project, liked the sound of it, and fucking produced that for us. And he really nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like a lot of his stuff though is fantastic. Anyway, we'll try and describe it for those that haven't seen it. He does masks as well. They're kind of
They're more recent. They're fucking class, aren't they?
they're kind of what way would you describe? I mean,
Like a paper mache kind of mask. It's like a woodblock print meets a tattoo. That's
yes,
the way, that's
actually,
the best
yeah,
way I'd put
yeah.
it.
It's like a kind of skin, a
Yeah.
tattoo skin on your face. And some of his prints, then again, are
His
fabulous.
prints are,
as
they
well.
look so
He's got quite.
stark.
I like how he's got quite a kind of collagey kind of vibe going on as well,
Yeah.
with how he seems to construct his prints.
Yeah,
Like I've seen like process images where he'll have just torn up, like our work is like it's got like a whole tear on one side
yeah.
where he has like just little bits like torn off and put together, and then he kind of works it out from there. I think
But it's
seems
predominantly
like a cool process.
predominantly as well black and white with red.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He chooses like a little bit of color here and there, but it's very
Yeah.
tasteful how he does it.
Yeah,
It's nice, minimal, kind of stark, and yeah, I think it fits the music well as well, especially that song.
What it reminds me of is like German woodcut expressionists.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
We're all really big into that.
Yeah,
like
okay.
that era of.
culverts and
Yeah.
so
It's like a modern twist on German expressionism.
yeah. And I've always been a big fan of printmaking.
Yeah, especially
So-
ones with like all of that black,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the kind of just the mono color of like black woodblock printing is just really kind of
gnarly.
brutal and
Yeah.
stark and
and of course we
minimal.
are metalers as well.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
mean, it would appeal to us as well.
Well, we sent him the lyrics. We sent him a live version from Fred's. That's what we had at the time,
Okay,
and sort of like the concept of the song.
right.
And
Lyrics.
he based it. Yeah, and the lyrics. Yeah, and he
And we
based the album or the artwork off that.
we
Right.
kind of come to a few kind of ideas ourselves what we sort of wanted from it. We mentioned like maybe printmaking,
Skulls.
maybe woodblock,
Cows.
that German expressionism stuff, and then when we found his artwork, it seemed like geez, that kind of sort of seems to fit the bill. And then said he was really cool to work with, and he was
Where is he based? Is he based in Limerick?
No, he's Australian.
Oh, he's actually he's
Yeah,
based
yeah.
in Australia as well.
I
Oh,
reached
right,
out to him.
okay.
I sent him an Instagram message. Just you can't be told no until you ask.
Yeah,
Oh, fact.
So I
It's been
sent him a
proven
message.
many a time.
He
Yeah.
got back to me. He sent me his email. He said, "Let's send messages back and forth," and he was super cool, super easy to work with. And it was
Jesus.
just like,
that's
you know-
actually. Geez, I'm glad I asked that. No, because
Yeah.
people would have just assumed that he was Irish. You
No,
know, or-
we've
as
never met
in-
the guy.
no.
Where I first heard of him, there's a tattooer called Liam Sparks. He works in a tattoo shop. I can't remember the name of the tattoo shop. Old Habits, I think, is the name. It's a London tattoo shop.
Right.
And I saw he had tattooed Simon Lice, and I just that's how I found out about him.
Yeah.
Purely through Instagram.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's doing artwork for us. So it's kind of a little bit surreal.
And like,
The wonders of the internet.
Yeah.
and just as well, I know all of you are art students. You went to the Limerick School of Art and Design to Trevi, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we kind of met and sort of formed.
Yeah.
How hard is it? Okay, to give away your kind of stuff like that when. I presume you all have probably ideas on how to contribute art-wise to TOOMS,
Yeah.
you know?
Personally, I find it extremely easy. I think I don't know. I think our process with any artwork that we've had done is like we kind of just we pick someone that we kind of know well is going to do a good job,
Right.
sort of thing, and then that means that we can trust them. Like we know whatever they'll come up with will probably be good. Like our first, like our MEP, my friend Dean Merton. We knew his shit was cool, so we were like, do you want to do artwork? And he was like, yep. And we just like, just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And we kind of knew well whatever we were going to get off him was probably going to be cool, and sure enough was.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the idea of that, like like maybe giving like a vague.
But I think
idea,
we're
but,
good at
like-
describing because we come from like
Yeah,
a
that's
visual
true as well.
place as well.
Yeah,
We're good at being clear and concise
yeah,
about
yeah,
what
yeah.
we want.
That's
and,
true.
You know,
And
we know the language, if so to speak.
Yeah, of course.
We've kind of so far like worked with like really good people. We've found some really good people to work with, whether it be like from recording and mixing to artwork and stuff like that, and even guest musicians and
Yeah.
stuff.
It's all about the collaboration.
Yeah, but it's been really good so far. Like we found.
And like, are you any of you still practicing art?
I haven't made a piece of art in 3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did
man.
some
But
doodles
like
the other day.
this music thing, like this,
This is
it,
art
this
in
takes
itself.
like creative juice. This is like the creative
Okay,
energy.
that's a good actually way
Kinda-
of
yeah.
describing
Yeah.
it. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
All my creative energy is going towards this, and this is what we've been playing together since our first year in college.
Like 2012.
I thought about
We've
20
been-
years.
We've been jamming together for centuries.
Yeah, 50 years ago.
But like what you're saying about the artwork, giving it away, I actually kind of find it a little bit liberating.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to get bogged down. Like we can focus on, writing our caveman riffs,
Yeah.
and we don't have to worry about trying to produce an artwork. We have the idea, give it to somebody else, and don't have
Yeah.
to think about it till it comes back.
Yeah.
So it's liberating in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good not to have like too much control over that as well, because you wouldn't want to get too bogged down in trying to make something exactly what you think you want as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to have someone's own personal touch in there
Yeah.
for sure.
And I mean, kind of for all your, how many years are you out of college now? I don't know. Like I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm out
yeah.
of college like 3 years.
I never finished college, so I'm kind of the odd one out here. I'm an ex-art student. I didn't make it all the way.
Okay.
But we started college together in like 2012,
Yeah.
Right.
and he graduated, was it like 4 years later?
I graduated 2017. I think you graduated
16.
2016.
With a first class
Yeah.
honours, baby.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Name drop it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I barely passed after 5 years.
You're talking to the emerging Irish
Yeah,
artist
yeah.
of 2016.
That's the guy you need to talk to. Yeah.
This is genuine awards.
Yeah, he's done residencies.
Please hire me.
Buy my shit.
But yeah, like we met, like we started in 2012, and we met, you know, the first week
Fairly
of
early,
college,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
found like a mutual interest of music, and we said, you know, I play guitar, he plays drums.
You like
yeah,
Caius?
I play bass, and had all these mutual bands we're into, and said, fuck it.
Let me
No,
guess. One
let's-
of you were wearing a fucking
Yeah.
t-shirt.
Kieran was
Was
wearing
it
a
Bag on the
classic,
money, yeah. Bag on the money.
Cliff Burton
He-
t-shirt, wasn't it?
The Cliff
Really,
Richard,
yeah?
Even though he's the drummer.
I think it was actually a Zeppelin t-shirt.
Oh, really?
I'm so
Yeah.
glad it wasn't the fucking Lars Ulrich t-shirt. man.
Do they even exist?
They wouldn't
If
be
anyone
allowed.
puts Lars Ulrich on a t-shirt, they should be
Jesus,
shot.
yeah. Unless he's like on the back, really
now
small.
people get fucking kind of thorny over it, you know. Some guys like it, Lars still. I know.
those guys.
I
We
fucking.
haven't talked to them.
I wonder sometimes myself.
Lars, if you're
Make
listening,
you wonder.
calling you out, boy.
Yeah.
Give up the ghost.
If you're listening,
Lars.
stop listening.
What was his last fucking best album as a drummer? Come on, like I mean, you're
Kill 'em all.
yeah.
Master of Puppets.
See, I don't even fucking know how
I-
much
I-
he contributed to
even
Master of
though,
Puppets
like-
as a drummer.
like,
like.
I'm-
Exactly, yeah.
I'm still a fan of like early Metallica, but like
Load and Reload,
the
best
drum-
albums.
Ah,
the,
fuck
the,
off.
the, drum, the drumming in Metallica has never stood out to me. I've never been like, wow, that is like savage drumming on that track. It's always been about the guitar,
And the lyrics,
maybe
yeah.
bass and the early
Yeah.
stuff. So
I
I
mean-
don't know. Lars is like very much in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in first, like, fucking, it's thrash drumming, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking play it quick, you
Yeah.
know? Play it fast. Which he could do, you know?
He's very much.
having
I think he's more of an organizer than a drummer. You know, he'd like to say a conductor. You know,
He's an art collector as well.
a very rich art collector.
Really?
To see his wife,
Oh. He's doing well enough though.
he'd have to be rich to attract that.
Hey-o.
Simple as that, man. But
He's going to listen to this and sue the pants off all
Oh,
of us.
God, yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I would say any publicity is good publicity.
And Kieran, how did you start with the drums?
Oh, jeez. I thought, what age was I? I think maybe 11 or 12, I think. Yeah, I know, I was always fucking tapping away on desks and stuff, and teachers and parents telling me to shut the fuck up. Stop fucking hitting shite. So my parents eventually were like, should we get him a drum kit? But they, being shrewd parents, they were like, let's not buy an big expensive thing, you know,
Yeah.
in case he actually isn't into it. So
It's pure Irish.
so-
Like.
yeah, I know, yeah. So I had a cool little setup though. It was like 4 kind of big old paint pots on table legs.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
we
then,
got him a drum kit for
Yeah.
Christmas.
And then they said it was some Tom ad, and it was a big old cardboard box. And actually, pretty cool. My dad made a little kick pedal, like
No way.
some bits of wood and like springs and shit. He's a fucking creative man, by.
Fair play.
And so that was my first kit.
Okay.
And then practicing around there, trying to make a 4/4 beat for
Right.
months.
I'm kind of what we listened to back then. It was metal, I presume, is it?
I don't know. I grew up on like Zeppelin and John Lee Hooker, basically.
I hate Led Zeppelin.
Fuck off, man. Get out.
I know. That's kind of what I grew up
minority,
on. And then I started listening to a bit of metal.
Right.
To us, but I don't know that at that stage, I think I was mostly into like fucking I don't know, folky stuff and proggy stuff and yeah, not a whole pile of metal
Okay.
really. Bit of Metallica,
Yeah.
as always. But
And
yeah,
then you graduated then to your first real kit when you were what? Like, were you in college at that stage?
maybe like no, this was like early enough secondary school.
Okay, you got
yeah.
a proper one.
So yeah, had the loft upstairs, and we live in the country, so it's fairly grand.
Yeah, oh cool.
Which is that's definitely, to be honest, I think that's like one of the big kind of elements of that. Like if I grew up in a city,
No,
it
you wouldn't
might not
get
have been
away
the
with
same kind of deal at all. Like, do you
Not
know?
in a fucking terrorist house anyway.
Yeah, I might not be in a sick band right now.
There you go.
God
man.
forbid.
There you go. Cool. And so when you went to college, then you met the lads,
Yeah.
and it was just perfect. You all were figuring out instruments at that stage, or were you kind of?
Alex
had
had
you
been in a few
decided-
bands, kind of, hadn't you?
Had you, yeah?
In Shan.
cover bands and
Yeah.
like
I say bands.
yeah, they were like nothing serious. There was 2 bands.
Good name.
I'm gonna give a shout out now to my old bands. One band was called Dr. Satan, and we'd show up to other people's gigs and be like, "Do you mind if we jump on and do a quick slot before you play?" Yeah, cool, no problem. Can we borrow your instruments?
Oh,
right.
no.
So the
Those
whole shtick was we just detune, not downtune, but just detune everything to as low as possible, and just make some horrible, awful noise. And then just hand the instruments back and be like, "Thanks very much."
You go off.
Fucking split out the door. So apologies for that. And another band was
love
called.
it.
Oh.
We were called Slaps. This is about the time I was getting into Electric Wizard and Sleep and all that.
All right,
you know.
okay, yeah.
Getting into the really slow stoner metal stuff.
Mm.
About 16 at that time.
Yeah.
15, 16. So really simple riffs. But I didn't really like start properly playing. I knew how to play guitar, but I didn't really start playing until I met the 2 lads.
Okay, fair enough.
Thinking about it seriously, do you know.
Yeah.
What does SLOP stands for again?
Smeggy Loins and Wilkins Pit Stains.
Smeggy lines then?
Wilkins Pit Stains.
Okay.
Amazing name.
Did they release a 12 inch, no?
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming, yeah. We're still working on the first
Rare
song.
collector's item. And Anto, you were what was your path into this musical odyssey?
See, well, yeah, this is my first band I've been in, first and only band.
Okay.
Same, actually, yeah.
Before that, I played guitar first. Probably learned guitar. I picked up guitar myself about 13, I think.
Right.
I remember an older cousin of mine had shown me, like when I was younger, about like 8, 9, 10, showed me a few simple 1-string kind of riffs on
Yeah.
Smells of Teen Spirit and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I was always into it, and then I got a guitar when I was 13. Played guitar all through my teenage years, but I went to a very small school, so there's no chance of like forming a band.
Yeah.
It was like I had one really good friend at the time, and we were like the only 2 metalheads in school.
Right.
So we'd often play guitar just together in either bedroom, and yeah, played mostly into metal, kind of increasingly. Started off listening to like Nirvana, Metallica, increasingly into like death metal and
Do you think
At the Gates
actually?
and
Do you think actually now, lads, that it's actually harder for kids to actually become a musician? Do you know, unless they really, really are subjected to music
Yes and no. You don't even have to be, because you could buy a MIDI controller. You can program your drums, play your own guitar, play your bass.
Oh well, it's
Like-
definitely
like-
easier and cheaper.
It's easier in some respects. Like I mean, it's funny. I was in a music shop actually in Athlone recently. Like I'm working there now. I'm living back home in East Galway, but this is a shop that I bought my first guitar, my first bass, my other guitar. I bought all this shit like years ago, like 15 years ago. And I was showing the guy. I was like, "Oh, I bought this," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I kind of remember that." And back then I was like, "Geez, the shop has changed a lot now." And he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "Business is a lot slower." And he said, I was like, "Even though electric guitars or basses," he's like, "No, we just don't sell them anymore."
Damn.
I was having a bit of a chat to him about this, and he said he's seen a bit of an evolution over the last 15 years of like less young people into instrument-based music.
I reckon so. Like,
Because I was saying like I remember
That'll change again.
I remember walking in there and to be like after school, like 5 o'clock, there'd always be, young lads shredding away in guitars,
Yeah.
like multiple people.
yeah.
And now there's none of that. And he said you sell like acoustic guitars, like singer-songwritery stuff. He says, since like Britain's Got Talent and shit like that is more like popular music has moved away from, in the 90s we had like grunge and alternative rock and stuff.
true
and
enough.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. Like when I was growing up, that's like everyone listened to
Yeah.
grunge and alternative rock and indie rock and
There's none of that.
since the 2000s
dead
it
now,
changed
man.
a bit, and like I think like electronic music is more mainstream now.
It is.
I'm a DJ myself.
Well,
I'm a
hip hop
DJ
and rap as well are huge now. Which like
Well, they've
it's the largest like
started
growing
to
genre.
kind of come together a lot.
Yeah,
yeah.
big time.
Join, like, because remember always, rap was always kind of separate to dance, and then kind of in the early
Thanks,
early
P. Diddy.
2000s, stuff kind of overlapped. Do you know, even the likes of fucking Rihanna and all them were adding hip hop beats and stuff, and
Yeah,
suddenly
that's true.
David Guetta started putting dance to it, and it's kind of morphed into this big fucking entity now. Whereas before it was always rap, you know, metal. You
I
know?
think like pop music now, maybe it's just
That's
a
shit, man.
generation thing. I think it's more shit than ever. I think like
It's really bad.
It's shit.
pop music was actually good a long time ago, but it's been on a steady
Yeah.
decline since like maybe the 80s.
You could put the radio on, and I know this is probably the most
A lot of
cliche thing,
stupid
especially
shit
for a
on.
metal band or a metal band member to say, but you put it on, and it seems like the same beat will play. It could be 10 songs on it, but it sounds like the same thing.
Yeah.
That's the most cliche thing I could say.
It's quite unoriginal now, and I
But
know
it's true.
even since like the 90s, like pop music has been like formulaic or like been manufactured kind of sound.
I mean, like, look, the four of us, we're all here for a reason because we fucking love music, you know. But like, when I get into the car now and I turn on the radio, it ain't fucking.
News talk.
It's news talk.
The best channel.
Yeah, it's
Lyric
just.
FM. Represent.
Yeah.
Well, Lyric FM is the
I
the shit as
will. I
well.
will drift to Lyric FM. I
Right,
don't
Lyric is-
mind admitting
Lyric's
to it.
great after 7 p.m.
Yeah.
It's brilliant in the evening and
But
nighttime.
as in for Today FM,
Classic
and,
hits,
and
Hit the Road.
2FM and all those. Good
just
luck.
soulless
No
crap.
fucking way.
In the bin.
man.
In the bin.
CDs, USB stick, or News Talk.
Or Spotify,
Or
obviously.
Spotify, yeah.
So I think like back
You
to
can catch us on top of Spotify now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh by God, is that an
Smooth.
exclusive? But yeah, so I think it's just harder
It
for
is-
young people
It is harder because it's not
to
really.
get into it.
It's not being in a band. I don't think is as popular or as a common a thing as it was,
No,
20 years ago. I don't know, even 20 years ago, or even maybe less. I don't know.
Is it necessarily a bad thing that
Yeah.
metal and all that kind of thing is more underground?
I don't think so. I mean, like it's like it's hard to see from outside of our perspective. Like the scene in Ireland for like kind of underground metal is very strong. It's brilliant.
yeah, I
Great.
know, yeah, but I mean, as I said, it's just that where's the new blood? Where
But those
Right
who are
here,
going,
baby.
those who are going to be into it will pick up an instrument anyway.
they'll gravitate
I
towards it.
think so. If you're really into it,
Well, I bought my little brother a drum kit because he, like you, is super hyperactive and he was always tapping on things. And I thought, this kid needs a drum kit.
Yeah.
Bought him a drum kit, and he played it for about 20 minutes on Christmas morning, and that was it. Straight to the fucking DS or
Yeah,
Game
of course,
Boy or
distractions,
PlayStation, whatever. iPod, tablet, all this shit.
I
I
know.
was just thinking there, like about drums, and I kind of wonder, is that like, has that got any easier or more difficult? Because like, how do you even pick up drums? Do you know what I mean? Like, unless like,
It's a huge-
I grew up in the country,
Yeah.
so it's all good to fucking make a lot of noise, but like,
Yeah.
do you know?
When I was
Like-
living it, the first place we lived in Shannon, we lived in a terraced house, and my neighbour, I can't remember his name, but fuck you, buddy. he was learning to play drums, and he lived up in the attic, and it would be like non-stop all day, just trying to learn a 4/4 beat.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Horrible.
Yeah, not even like listening to like a cool solo. like-
Unbearable.
yeah.
Like
where's the blast beats? at,
starting,
man? Come
like
on.
finishing on the third, and then going back to the start.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
Exactly,
Listening
like-
to someone learn drums in a terraced house.
Exactly. Like if you're learning guitar or whatever, it's all good because you can just
You
know
turn
have
down the guitar.
Well, on the flip side of
Yeah.
that, then my neighbours had to listen to me play Nirvana riffs badly.
Yeah.
For years, do you know?
Yeah. And
Yeah, I'm kind of fortunate as well. Like I grew up in the country, so once my parents were okay, but I could play it as loud as I want. And
yeah.
it is. I never really thought about that much. It's a good asset to learn when you're learning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's something I've really become really thankful of recently. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
no, it's freeing to like be like, okay, I have a mood or whatever. Let's get together. Especially if you meet people that you gel with musically. That's like, if you have that, that's priceless.
Oh,
You-
jeez, yeah.
To make music by yourself is one thing, or to recreate somebody else's music. But to get together as a group or a duo or whatever, and create a new song there's no feeling like it.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
It's a beautiful thing. So, which brings me nicely along. You guest vocalist on Stampede was
yeah.
Dermot.
Dermot O'Shea,
O'Shea, yeah.
he
Yeah.
plays in a
Big
band
up, big
called
up.
Cassavetes. They're from Limerick. They're not at all a metal band.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No,
Man,
no,
this is
they're
it. Like,
great, though. I don't know. What would you even describe?
Would you
them
call
as,
it? You'd
but
call them
Emo. They're an
yeah.
emo band. They're
I
like an
suppose, yeah.
alternative emo band. And
Yeah.
he'll probably hate me for saying that. Sorry,
they're-
man, but
But they're sick.
they're really good. I love them.
Yeah,
Okay.
class band.
There's a song on their record called Senselessness that they brought out last year called, I think it's Only Way to Heaven. And I in the background, he's doing harsher vocals. And I was like, fuck. That might
Like
fucking
real
work.
high up kind of screen.
Really high screens.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I can't reach those.
Yeah.
And I asked him, and he was completely on board. He was like, "When are we doing it? When are we doing it? Let's do vocals. Let's do vocals today." But he killed it.
He did, yeah.
He made that song what it is.
Yeah.
Those high vocals are like, and he's vegan.
Is he? I
Who'd have thunk it?
I didn't know that.
Evil vocals.
Evil vegans.
Evil vegans.
Maybe that's what
Almighty.
vegans sound like.
And so you brought Chris again,
Yeah,
Quigley.
worked with Chris.
Quigley.
fourth
The
member.
wizard.
Chris has been fantastic to work with.
Shaylee Clark.
Really has. He's been like, I don't know. How would you describe him?
Inimitable.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word. He's been kind of instrumental to like even like how like the last EP and the album has come about. He's been invaluable. Like with,
That's
like,
the word.
He's had such like creative ideas.
Extremely patient.
But yeah, he's
Well,
very,
you need that
he's
anyway.
very
Yeah.
very good to work with. Like we're already friends with him. We were friends with him
Yeah.
before this.
Which is a big asset as well, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, working with someone that you're friends with.
But he is very patient. He lets you. I don't know. He kind of let us kind of work through things and see what it come out. And we listened to him when he'd really.
But he also
Creative
he
ideas.
explains things really well. Like he
Yeah.
might,
Hmm.
we might have an idea, and he'll, instead of going no, that's not going to work. He'll sit us down, maybe show us, and then go, look, this is why it's not going to work. Or
Yeah.
Okay.
he'll let us try it and figure out for ourselves. Okay, that's not right.
Right.
But he also comes with like what we were saying earlier about releasing some creative control. He comes with ideas, and he'll show you something and go, this is how you can make that better.
Yeah. And he has some like crazy
Yeah,
ideas.
yeah. But without
Yeah.
without changing the song, like he won't.
But
Yeah.
crazy inventive.
Yeah,
Would it
exactly.
be?
And
Do
it,
you know
like
this-
fully like in kind of in what's the word? In the mind of making the song better kind of thing, do you know?
Yeah.
But like yeah, like he'll like just come up with like these weird things to do. Where it's like, oh, you guys want to go pop some balloons for reverb?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure
We-
thing.
That,
you know?
to capture the reverb, let's say we were in this room, he gets us to pop the balloon, and
Recorded
that
it
captures the natural reverb of this room, so he can run, let's say, his bass through the balloon.
Still don't understand it.
Oh man, it's,
But
it's
we were like when he first did it, we were like okay. And then he kind of explained it the second time. I was like,
oh
right, we're like, just we have faith in you, Chris.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it. And then we listened back. I was like,
he's
I
also
guess it sounds class. Like I'm still like lost for like.
he's a wizard on a synth.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
done,
yeah.
he's done some really cool.
And what's
Kinda
his
synth
background,
work.
lads? Do you know?
Well, he's in a band called Cruiser.
Yeah,
Oh,
another
Limerick.
great band from Limerick.
Who kind of like what do you call them? Kind of
Shoegazy,
noisy,
kind of
punky.
noise.
Right. Okay.
Unpinnable, shoegaze.
Is it what's his role in the band?
He's
Guitarist.
guitar, but
Yes,
it's so much more than just guitar. Like
Okay.
But
he's an
he-
orchestrator of sound.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's
he
good,
does. He does like sound engineering and stuff for
Nice.
quite a few artists now and gigs, and he's doing a lot of that now.
Yeah.
He's doing more and more
He-
sound
he-
engineering
he's-
and recording and stuff.
He studied music production
Yeah.
as well.
He's
and-
your friendly neighborhood sound person.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, he, as well, like being friends with someone like that, you know, if you, let's say I do a vocal and there's no fear of just going, that was shit, man, do it again, or like that was the one, stop. You don't need to do another 15 takes, like that's
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah.
It's very, it's just easy to communicate. ideas.
And you trust him as well.
Creative
yeah. I was
creativity.
just gonna say that I've had like such faith in
Yeah.
Chris. We're nearly like just okay. He thinks it sounds good, like, and then
So just to to let everyone know, if the record is shit, it's Chris's fault. It's on him.
I don't think so, lads. Going by the single. How many tracks altogether?
8.
8.
8.
Yes,
Yeah.
8 tracks.
Technically 9.
well, 8
Yeah.
tracks, 8
Eight
songs.
songs. we'll
Yeah,
say.
8 songs. Yeah.
It's okay, yeah. And what did the clock in at? Can you remember?
We
About an
know.
hour.
Just over an
It's
hour.
like a full length, yeah, 60, 70 minutes. The tracks vary from between like 4 and 11 minutes.
All right.
Well, I
Like-
think
like-
the
like
longest is
average length.
13,
Yeah.
I think.
No,
Shortest
the
is
last-
like
the last one is like 11 and a half.
Yeah.
They range from moderate to long.
yeah. We got the full range.
But
Yeah,
they're,
full
they're
range.
all,
There's some
we
short
we
songs
assure
and
you
some-
they're all heavy
songs.
as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't worry.
Yeah,
They're gonna be good.
like
There's
and
nothing
was
nice in
the-
there.
It's a nice usual TOOMS mix of.
Yeah. And was the
Confusion.
process good? Did you
Yeah.
enjoy the process?
Oh,
yeah,
f-
it was
awesome.
great. The
Yeah.
recording process, like I said again, Chris was great to work with. So the recording process,
Different way of recording this time. Like
Go
the
on,
last
yeah.
the last time was all three of us got in a room and just played live and did like room mic recording for the EP.
Yeah.
And then I dubbed the vocals on after, and he did some gong and just little bits of washy things here and there after. This time it was like, let's track the drums, let's
Do it
track
properly.
let's track the cymbals after, let's track
Yeah.
things bits by bits, and then
Yeah.
I Billy Corgan it and tracked fucking hundreds of guitars on top of everything.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I did a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we basically tried to do it right, you know. Like I think, you know, because we have 2 EPs technically. Our first one even more basic again. Like that's just like, you know, straight live recording, not even mastered.
Yeah.
I think
And then the second one kind of basically live with some overdubs and mastered. So this time we're like, okay, let's actually do it properly.
I think we wanted like a bit of a tighter sound as well, and Chris was on for that too. Like when we're becoming more and more of a kind of metal sound
Less of
compared
a,
to our
like
early
a
days.
stoner rock band.
Yeah,
and more
yeah.
and more.
We were saying to him like because Kieran's incorporated blast beats.
And the
on
vocals
previous
this
album.
time, we actually like the last record was vocals are more like a texture. This time there's actually lyrics. This is the first time I've only figured out how to play guitar and sing at the same time, like in the last year.
Yeah.
So
Down. What is it? The down stroke, is it?
you got to scream on the down. So like it's like fucking meat and potatoes, man. It's easy as it gets for me.
How do you feel like putting in blast beats?
I do.
Were you fucking bullied into
He
it?
does what he does what he's told.
Yeah, actually, what you were. A
Do
bit,
you know
like,
what I got? I had a double kick pedal for a little while a few years ago, but
Didn't fucking use it.
didn't really use it at all. And then that got nicked at some point. And then I was down to the single one. So within the space of about a month or 2, I got a double kick pedal on China. So then, like, every time we
Shit
were
got
jabbing,
real.
the boys was like, more double kick, more China, come on.
Oh, yeah.
we were writing bits like like triplet bits, but like Kieran, can you do like a
Yeah, yeah.
dig, 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 dig on your drums? He's
Go
like,
sugar.
No.
Follow
come
this.
on, learn, come on, figure it out, man.
Yeah.
Could not get enough like blasts and double kick.
Yeah.
China,
Still can't
like,
absolutely love it.
No,
Yeah.
I do love doing a good old fucking blast in the right place.
Yeah, in the right place.
In the right
yeah.
place. It's something I'd never want to just shoehorn into something. do you
Yeah.
know?
Our music is kind of like grown somewhat organically, like from our early
Yeah.
days.
Oh,
Like, it has
100%.
gotten heavier, like so tighter.
I think that's because we all stopped smoking weed. we all just got angrier.
Maybe
Yeah,
so.
we left college, we started getting jobs and got
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
miffed.
You joined the rat race. In
Yeah,
other
yeah.
words,
Exactly.
yeah.
So now we're all peeved.
So that helped with the blast beats.
Indeed. But we still got the groove there as well. Joe. I think
Yeah.
that's extremely important.
Yeah, I mean, again, like you can see it in Spades and the single Stampede. You know.
Yeah,
The-
so that's got all
It's
the elements.
got
sort of
everything,
thing,
yeah.
Yeah, the Stampede is a very good example of our sound.
Yeah.
I think. 'Cause
Yeah.
it has,
Microcosm.
It's slow and groovy, fast.
like
and
the
furious
opening
and
chords could fucking come out of Twin Peaks.
brutal. Yeah,
Are you a fan? Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I like David Lynch. So
Yeah,
that's,
yeah.
What's the man's name? Is it Angelo Badalamenti?
Yeah, the composer. Yes, correct. Yeah.
Alex Badalamenti.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's talk about
Thank you very
the video actually.
yeah.
Oh,
Brown
sham.
sauce,
Brown
cuz.
Brown sauce, man.
sauce.
Fucking
Hats off, cuz.
fucking nice one, man.
What's that? That's not fucking.
Don't know. I know.
Something sauce, isn't it?
I know what you're on about. You're duck sauce.
Duck sauce. Yes.
No, it-
Yes.
Brown sauce, buddy of ours.
Yeah.
Buddy of ours
AKA
from
Jack
college.
O'Flynn.
Yeah, Jack O'Flynn. Buddy of ours from college.
What's his name?
Jack
Jack.
O'Flynn.
Jack
O'Flynn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another amazing to work with. Another really creative guy.
Yeah.
Basically,
Double
same
kicks.
again. Gave him a rough idea and said, "Do your thing, buddy."
Yeah, work away. And he said to us, I think he was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking like visually similar to. Have you seen Mandy? Film with Nicolas Cage.
So, I mean,
It looks a
how
lot
many- the man is shitting out movies.
Yeah. It came out last
This
year.
one
or
is
something.
really good.
Yeah,
there's a chainsaw
incredible.
duel.
Yeah,
I'll say no more. You'll
like
love it.
visually, like it's
Was
kind
it
of
the
it's like quite similar
director-
to the video. Basically, a lot of red
Right.
and
yeah.
Valhalla Rising was another.
Yeah, Nicholas
That's
Nicholas
a
Winding
great
Refn.
fucking film.
Yeah.
that's
And also,
something that I think he
The
was-
guy who did Drive Valhalla Rising.
yeah.
Um,
A Field
Leon-
in England. It was another reference. You know that one?
A Field in
A
England.
Field in England. Yeah, it's
No.
a
Lo-
real
lo-
trippy movie by a
lots of
guy
kind
called
of
Ben Wheatley.
Lots of kind of psychedelic horror kind of vibes.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
he
good,
he
man.
basically wanted to make
That was the only references though, really.
psychedelic horror. Was kind
Yeah.
of what he wanted.
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
with.
Yeah. So
And we knew he had like 360-degree cameras and like
And he's done a
That
few
works so
animation
well,
and shit
though,
like
didn't
that. Yeah.
and he's done a few music videos like before ours, and so we kind of knew his stuff already.
He did. Do you know somewhere in Ireland, Hazy Hayes, Limerick rapper. He did like Citrus's videos and stuff. This huge
Hip hop kind of
Hip-hop
Limerick hip hop
epic, if you want.
Right.
And I was involved minutely in Hazy's. I was in the background of Hazy's swinging a hatchet.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I saw his process and I was like, this dude knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
And again, we were just kind of close to him. Like,
Yeah.
so he was easy. He was a no-brainer.
So it
Yeah.
looked like there was probably 3 location shoots. Is it the woods, the graveyard?
Woods, graveyard, and then he
A
did.
little bit of a live
the
footage.
Oh, and our
Yeah.
practice space. There was
Yeah,
some like
okay.
industrial estate as well.
yeah.
But he did a lot of like filler shots, if you want.
Yeah, all the
Right.
cows and stuff. would be,
Oh, right, yeah,
out
yeah.
where he lives
Yeah.
down Cork.
Cork-ish.
Ish.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure whereabouts exactly.
He's living in Dublin now,
Mm.
making it as a graphic
Shit
designer.
one.
But it is a visual overload, which is
Yeah.
which
But I think-
definitely suits.
I think
as,
he
soon as,
nailed it.
as soon as we saw it, we're like,
Yeah,
class.
just
It was
yes.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Like my favorite shot of all, like by far, the gear change and then up
Yeah.
Anto's face. Incredible.
It's really funny, but it seems to like kind of just work really well.
Oh, it's fucking
so
brilliant.
cool.
Yeah.
and,
I love
So there are, like, little
he has
funny
like
bits
a
in it.
hand. It's like a hand holding a rock, and
Yes.
there's just like flashing
All
red
of those
behind it.
ones,
Yeah.
so cool.
But I think he matched the sound of the song visually.
Oh,
I think he
totally.
just-
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, Jesus, talking about nailing it, like. And
we had to put an epileptic warning at the start and all.
I saw that.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, like,
Who wrote in Die Cunt as well?
that
That would have been Jack. Yeah,
that was Jack.
yeah. He would done all the animations and stuff as well.
Mm.
Yeah, and the penis on the on the fucking Foxy
Yes,
dude.
Nice.
That mad Foxy dude. Yeah, we saw him driving home. Do you recall there's the shot of like a weird Foxy lad on a chair?
Not
with,
like a
sign.
foxy saucy boy, like a
Yeah.
No, like an actual fox.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And was it anamorphic? Anthropomorphic?
Anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphic.
Yeah.
Fox thing.
Animals, man.
Animal kind
Fucking
of guy. But yeah, I saw him driving home. Jeez, we have to get him in there. Fucking,
Yeah.
yeah. This is weird. He was like a weird scarecrow kind of thing
Mm.
that outside someone's gaff.
That was a weird gaff. It was like
That was strange. Yeah.
kind of weird. It was like something out of a psychedelic
He
horror
was,
film.
got the shot and drove on. This
And where was the woods? Was that outside Limerick as well? Was it?
Cracklow
Woods.
Cracklow Woods.
Cracklow Woods, man.
Between like Limerick County and Clare.
Any funny shit
yeah.
happened while you were out there? Did it?
Well,
What were we doing?
Oh, yeah.
Anto had a broken leg, so he was
Yeah.
kind of hobbling behind
Yeah.
us.
Hobbling.
Fuck it, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Sure. Was that filmed then when we met you at Grey Stag? Then was it around that time?
It would have been, that week.
Mm.
Okay.
That week, yeah.
Oh yeah. I had like I twisted my ankle and broke a bone and tore
That's
my
right.
tore ligaments.
Yeah.
So this big gammy support
saw
boot
it,
on
yeah.
for ages. I crutches during the music video. Actually, I was going around in crutches.
Sure, me and Kieran just like we were like running up and down,
Yeah.
up and down hills and frolicking and throwing stones and having a great crack. And he was like just standing,
fella.
Standing with crutches,
standing on
like-
the side of the road, like,
Looking
Do you want to do a shot of me?
can I be in the video
Like,
as
the
well?
shot of me is
please?
like I'd like quick just put the crutches behind my back. Like okay.
Yeah.
They're actually. Which one of you were waving an axe? Did I not see an axe in it?
There was like a
Alex
hatchet,
again.
There's a
looking-
stone-
hatchet rock,
Yeah.
Yeah.
cave rock.
I think that was you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
nobody
actually
came
had
across-
the biggest stone in the video.
Oh yeah, that was
Oh,
fair.
the stone,
fair
yeah.
fuck. That was
There's
around the
actually-
size of your head.
You got
man.
the biggest stones in the room.
It was actually quite funny. I think that and like the shots in the woods, they both happened because like Jack like got me into the woods and we were kind of looking at like these really cool shapes of trees and stuff that fall
Yeah.
down. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna take my shirt off. Yeah, got all these shots. And then like we were walking out of there, and Alex was walking up, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I have my shirt off in there, taking sweet shots." And he was like, "What? You got your fucking shirt off?" He's like, took his off immediately, like, "Get some shots of my
as if you
tattoos,
needed
bro."
an invitation.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
It's like, what do you mean you do cool shit?
I wanted to take my jeans off too, but
And his socks.
But nobody came across you, no?
No.
so
there was a lady
One
walking her
walker, I
dog.
believe.
We were doing some scenes like he like shot a couple of shots out the back of the car. We were driving up and down the road.
Oh man, that was the best.
Sitting in the car,
That was
and a
the
couple of locals were driving by, like, giving like serious looks,
Yeah.
like what?
Yeah,
the
we
fuck
did a
is
shot of
going on here?
Jack just said to me like, "Oh, we want to do a shot like driving away from Anto." Like Anto stood in the middle of the road, we'll drive away and then just drive back up, kind of thing. So he was like, so he put me in the boot, like the boot open, like feet hanging out the back, holding the camera.
Cool.
But I just
Jack just got his license as well, by the way.
yeah,
Oh,
and I
Great-
thought
great driver.
I thought
very
he was just
careful.
gonna drive away, you know. And then he was like, "Okay, ready to go?" I was like, "Yeah." Floored it up the road. I was like,
Playing-
like shaking around.
playing
Oh,
it-
this
it-
is class.
Angel of Death as well at one point.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
pretty
Blasting
little-
Slayer. It's
Listening
fucking
to
sick.
Slayer like, driving as fast.
Yeah, yeah.
What was he driving? Like a Fiat Punto?
A tiny car.
Yeah, or
Some
something.
little hatchback. But there was a couple of
Gas.
locals who kind of passed by. They're like, what the
Yeah,
hell's
what the
going on
fuck's going on?
See,
Who let-
and
who let the
and
metalheads out?
they're the great fucking things that make it, you know.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
100%.
yeah.
You know, because I do the odd few
Excuse me.
I do the odd few promos as well, and
Excuse.
you're standing
there?
there, fucking looking into a phone, and someone is walking by, and you're just going,
Oh, there was one bit when we were
Jesus.
throwing the rocks around. So we kind of hopped over this gate.
Oh yeah, some boys pulled up in
And
the van.
this fella pull up in the van. We're like, how's it going? He's like,
Like, who the
fuck are you? What are you doing here?
I was like, yeah, we're just leaving. He's like, yeah, what are you doing? We're like,
Yeah.
just shooting, taking some shots.
Which way's
taking a few
town?
photos.
Back the way you came.
It was a bit like we're like, oh, time to leave.
And the cover art then is Paul Cashel, is it? Or is he doing a bit of it?
yes.
Paul Cashin, that's for the
Oil
album,
painting.
the full album.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did like a couple of oil paintings,
Yeah,
looking really sweet.
based
Happy with
on
them.
an idea of mine.
Yeah,
actually.
sketch of Kieran's.
Okay. And is there a team?
Just trying to take a bit of credit.
Is there a
there.
team actually going through the album, lads, or is it just still?
A vague-ish
Yeah,
team.
Well, the last album, right? So without boring you with all the details, previously we were known as Gaia,
Yeah.
and then the last EP we changed our name to TOOMS, and the song Gaia's TOOMS. So that whole previous EP was about, sort of the end of the world, everything coming to an end, everything's doomed, classic doom metal, themes. This one kind of carries on from there.
Right.
Yeah,
It's kind of like a bit of a nod to the previous album and the transition from Gaia.
Will we go into it? We'll give you the name.
Yeah. Go.
We'll give you
for
the name.
it.
So the name of this album.
Right.
This is an exclusive now.
Yay.
This
world exclusive.
This is the first
You
time.
travelled far enough for the fucking exclusive. So go on.
The world might end, so we might as well let it go now. So
Yeah.
this is called "The Orb Offers Massive Signals,"
The orb.
Which
The
is
orb offers,
Tooms.
which spells TOOMS if you take the first letter. of each.
Leather.
We're smart.
Not-
We're smart boys.
Not just pretty faces. Eh?
Yeah,
But again, like loose concepts of like
yeah.
I don't
It's one of those
astral
ones.
cosmic shit. And
Yeah, it's one of those ones
planets
where there's
coming
like a
around.
kind of there's concepts in mind sort of thing, but it's not like a concept album where
It's not
like
yeah.
where there's like a
It's
story going through it and shit like
Okay.
that. But there's stuff that kind of ties into it and yeah, analogies and yeah.
And is there much lyric
Loads of
content
lyrics.
in it? Yeah.
Oh baby.
This boy here.
Every
Ooh.
song, there's no instrumental track anymore now. Every song is.
Jeez,
lyrics,
yeah,
isn't
actually,
it?
yeah.
But I mean,
Which is
the
hard when
reason
you-
why I
when you-
asked that, as a singer now, you're gonna have to fucking.
My memory's
Front
bad
man.
at the best of times. So we've been playing a song called Attila the Pun, which is the third of our Warlord puns.
Yeah,
Yes,
Warlord.
trilogy,
We
yeah.
promise no more Warlord puns. But Attila the Pun, every time we play it live, I'm just grunting into the microphone. I don't know the words anymore. Like
Yeah.
I forgot them. And we've one song on the album. It's like a 13-minute epic. It's not even so much lyrics as it is prose. Just like
Yeah, it's like an epic poem.
such a long poem. I'm fucked. If we're playing that live, forget about it. I'm gonna make it up words on the spot.
Yeah,
You know. But I think what you record and what this is just me being really lazy, but what you record and what you do live are two very different things, you know.
Well,
No, I'll learn though. I'll learn the
Fuck's
words.
sake.
I will learn the words. I promise.
you'll have
It's a different medium, man.
artistic.
Do you know what you'll have now? You'll have Danielle
Jesus
Daly
Christ.
at the front singing the fucking lyrics
Yeah.
back to you and going, "What the fuck?
If you
He's
could
not
hold-
even
hold up
lip-syncing
cards,
If you
yeah.
could hold a
properly."
lyric sheet, that'd be great.
yeah.
No joke. I actually bought a music stand for classical music. I'm gonna print out the lyrics and have them in front of me at practice, at least, maybe live,
Yeah.
because I have a terrible memory. But that's one way.
I thought he was going to learn piano or something.
And guitar
Guitar.
with one hand. Fucking
Yeah,
Michelangelo. What's his name?
Picasso.
teleprompter,
If we could
Oh
get a
yeah.
teleprompter.
Yeah.
If anybody out there,
teleport.
Yeah, it was a little monitor with a scroll. up.
Teleport the fuck out here.
Fucking thing.
Just forgot my lyrics. I'm gone.
I'm blowing the budget on a fucking teleprompter. Tough shit, lads.
A whole news team.
if you could teleport those lyrics into my head, that'd be super.
Yeah, and you know what? It's such a fucking bummer now that like you've arrived at this stage and we're just facing into such uncertainty. But
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It couldn't be a
It's
more
a good-
hilarious
it's a-
time to try planning a tour when the whole country
Well,
is shutting down.
It's kind of handy. You release your single and you're afraid, you do it on a Friday, everyone's out drinking, but you got to stay home now and you have something to do.
yeah.
Everyone has to listen to TOOMS.
Listen to TOOMS.
Yeah.
There's a
Choice.
few.
I mean, what was the run up to the release of the single? You played just even in February alone. You did Electrical's Third Island and Dolan's, didn't you?
Yep,
Yeah,
that was
that was
great.
class.
Played a couple of gigs so far this year.
Belfast,
Yeah.
Cork.
with the Mighty Elder Druid, Molar Bear, and Survivalist. Fucking hell, their
They're
first gig.
savage.
Great name actually.
Yeah.
Their first
They were
gig,
savage as well. Like they're like.
Where
such
they
a-
from?
Belfast.
They're from Belfast.
They're
Northern
Belfast
Ireland.
as
Yeah.
well.
We were again the only
How the fuck did that happen, lads?
I
Oh,
don't
was
know
it
how
Ja-
we keep
James-
traveling 122 miles to play these gigs.
Yeah, was it James Loveday just kind of got into us again and was like, "Do you want to do this again, lads?" Go for it. Yeah,
We just look at it not
James
so much
is a
as
dude.
yeah,
Shout out.
He's
James.
sound.
yeah,
He's a sound
yeah.
dude.
good lad.
I think
Survivalists were unbelievable. Their first gig, and they
Yeah, very impressed.
smashed it.
Did they? That was a
vocals.
heat, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah,
Did they go through? No.
Yeah.
Hardly.
they did.
Did
Yeah,
they-
them and
Damon
Elder
Elder
Druid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
So yeah, best of luck to them. Whoever gets it.
And
bastards.
and Elder Druid produced the second basis
Holy fuck.
again
Yeah.
on the
Sick.
night. Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
But I didn't realize until we were talking to Jake Wallace
Yeah.
Jake,
earlier before the gig, and he was explaining about the way the two bases work together. Because when you said two bases, I was like, oh, two bases, huh? But he was like, talking about how one of them has like, he uses a pick, then the other one is like just finger style.
Yeah.
So they're very much two different ways of playing the bass. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
One
Having
guy kind of
the two of them together.
follows the guitars and
Yeah.
plays like kind of quite
Yeah,
kind of hard
Stabby.
like pick style, and I think he plays like some chords, and then the other guy is playing kind of more traditional bass lines and doing other stuff over it.
Yeah.
It's
They
Dale.
just left
Dale
it.
and Daniel is the name, isn't it? I think Daniel's the more punk orientated guy who plays with the pick, and he's the only one on stage who's not like the classic Doom guy.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he's just
yeah,
like
yeah.
swinging his head around.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's awesome.
It's
man.
great to witness it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a really tightened low end. I can't explain it, but
There's
it's
such a
fucking
huge sound.
enormous.
massive.
Like, enormous.
What was
sound.
the crowd like on the night, lads?
Great.
It's good.
Good.
The crowd
yeah.
was really good.
Yeah.
Really good crowd.
Well,
Crowd
Well,
really
you
into
came
it.
on.
it did dissipate a bit for us, but again, like we're coming from outside town, so
I know,
obviously
yeah.
it's not going to be as big.
But even so, like we got some good feedback, and actually we were talking to someone outside. They just kind of come to us while me and Alex standing outside, and she was like, she said she arrived upstairs, and she was like, "Is that Death Clock playing?" So she turned around and it was us, and she was like,
High praise
you guys sound
indeed.
like Death Clock." And we were like, "Fucking
Jesus.
sick!"
We
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
a cartoon.
So that's another good little bit of feedback we've had.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah,
dead
deadly
knock.
buzz. Yeah,
That's an old memory from the past.
Funny now, I was listening to the Wrong Kind of Music podcast, and they were saying that they thought we were going to be like an atmospheric death metal band.
I don't know where they got that from actually. That's
Well, they were there last year.
from
And
last year. Yeah.
yeah.
they did say they were hammered watching us. So
Okay, fair enough too. Oh yeah, you fucking played with Draconius and Drought.
Oh yeah, that was a great fucking gig.
Oh my
In
god!
Cork, yeah, and Fred's up
New
in
Age Messiah as well. Sorry, but what about Draconius or Drought?
Drought.
New Age didn't play. They were unable
weren't
to
they?
play.
Yeah, they weren't
Yeah.
able to go for some reason.
Okay.
Drought, I would
Drought
like to say
incredible.
Drought, unbelievable.
10 out of 10 from us.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable band.
like another new band, similar to Survivalists. I think this is their first gig. And
Was it their first gig as well?
It was Drought's first gig, but I
It
think
must have been. 'cause
all the
that's-
members
yeah.
have
but
been around
they're all
for years,
seasoned.
so-
Seasoned.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
Season
yeah.
lads,
But I've been listening to their EP like in the week up to that,
mind blowing.
and I was like, oh my god, it's like
real good
savage.
shit.
And we like did we went on after them?
We were in, it was,
I-
yeah,
I-
We
was-
played just after them. Yeah.
I was bricking it to be honest during their set. I was like, oh, they're class. I was like, how are we gonna play after that?
Oh
They're
jeez.
definitely one to watch. They're really good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Really good sound. I think like,
And a
really,
great-
good, dreary,
really resonates. I
really
think,
gloomy
with us
shit.
as well.
Yeah.
black and sludge is what I can call it.
Yeah, and those two words, if put them together, it's like, yeah, that's up my street. right
They
there.
have a light guy as well. Like they have all these like.
Oh, yeah.
they
Strip
had a
lights.
light
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
They had like
Really?
a
Yeah?
full stage
Yeah.
light show. That was fucking cool.
That's something I've only actually I've been thinking about that a few times
like
with different
strobes and
bands.
stuff
Is
and-
like how much of a difference it makes having that element there. Like I saw Conjurer in Limerick when they played last time, and they had like a guy who clearly is like part of their crew doing the lights, and it makes such a massive difference.
Sure, do you remember Hexus?
Yeah, I was just about to say then Hexus with they had like a strobe going, but the front man he was like
He's got
controlling
like
it.
a clicker that controls
Yeah.
the strobe in his
Yeah.
hand.
Okay.
Or did you see 100-Year-Old Man? They played. They're a keyboardist / vocalist or synth player, whatever you want to say.
Yes.
Has like a switch on the floor, one for strobe and one for the fog lights.
Yeah.
Or not fog lights, but
Smoke
the
machine.
smoke machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which there was a whole bunch of.
Whole lot.
Yeah,
of.
but
So
by the
that's,
time they finished playing, you could barely see the band. It's
That's
just strobe and smoke. It's
that's a
class.
whole element that like that
It
I
can be
feel
explored.
often goes
Yeah.
overlooked.
Yeah, yeah.
Often goes overlooked.
but makes a
Should we
big
go, like,
difference.
we should go for one better and incorporate like a firework display.
A teleprompter display. So if anybody out there,
You've blown the budget on the
Yeah.
teleprompter.
Yeah.
You're not getting any fucking
more
We'll
money,
just
no
set
more
fire
money.
to the teleprompter.
if anyone out there is a teleprompter / strobe light
Well, like,
operator, hit
it's,
us up.
it's the simplest stuff, lads. It just causes
I-
people to kind of stand back and go,
I actually
"Fuck
have
it,
a
that's
strobe.
pretty
at home.
Yeah, it's
cool."
the extra element, like-
I have a strobe light.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Even
There you
Partalon.
go.
Who knows?
Yeah, Partalon had a swinging light in Fred's.
Oh yeah.
I heard about that, and I wasn't there.
Swinging light.
So
Cool.
cool. It was just hanging from the
That
raptor,
is-
and he was just holding it up like a lantern.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool.
But again,
Simple, atmospheric, and
works.
I find it hard enough to play guitar with my glasses off, let alone with a strobe light in my eye. So.
or swinging lights.
What about like kind of as a 3-piece? There is small restrictions on a 3-piece, whereas you are probably working fucking harder than your normal 4 or 5-piece. You know.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
Hard work.
I'm still trying to come to grips with playing guitar. No, we're playing guitar and singing at the same time. Like I've only just started to figure out kind of how to do that. No,
Yeah.
it seems like obviously I should know by now, but like
I mean,
Oh, I don't know how you.
It's,
how,
it's something
how
I don't think I'd be able to do.
It's
No,
hard.
It's,
I'm not very good at it yet, but it's I'm getting there.
yeah. Because like I mean, look, we've fucking name checked bands to death here on the show with 3 pieces. But again, I'm gonna fucking
Grey Stag,
British Tag, I was just
yeah,
about to say.
yeah. But look,
the dudes.
The bass.
if you want fucking intensity and atmosphere combined into one with fucking a 3-piece, don't go any further than the Crawling. You know,
Oh.
Andy Clark.
I have
of
yet to see the
fucking Crawling, man.
yeah, so-
Again, he had just the presence about him there for Urban Assault. I've seen him a rake of times, but just because again the caliber of bands beforehand were really fucking good, and I was just going to go, ooh, this would be interesting
Yeah.
now for Andy. And here he was again, man. He took center stage and stared down the fucking crowd, man.
There's a lot to be said. You know,
Wow.
you can either swing your head and jump around stage, and that's one way.
Yeah,
But there's some people that can command a stage by just picking a spot, stand there, and be fucking big and just.
oh
like,
yeah, yeah, and fucking like he was staring down people, and people were eyes averting left and right, going, fucking hell.
Yeah.
You know?
I've heard
Speaking
great
of
things
like
about him.
of 3-piece bands that command space without moving too much, they're not like Irish or anything, but Dying Fetus. I've been getting into Dying Fetus lately. Just like fucking brutal death
Yeah.
metal,
Nasty.
caveman riffs.
Nasty.
I forget they are. Yeah, they're just
They're a 3-piece.
Yeah.
They didn't start as a 3-piece, but now they're a 3-piece.
Yeah.
Now John Gallagher is a virtuoso on guitar, like what he can do with the guitar, and the bass player, I don't know his name, like sweep picks on his 5-string bass, and like, it's just out of this world.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said for practicing there, but if
Anto,
you want
what do you
sound-
play actually? You 4 or 5?
I got a 5-string bass a little over a year ago.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I was playing a 4-string for years. So I was saying earlier, like I started on guitar first when I was about 13,
he's
Right.
better than I am at
and
guitar.
then
You could do tapping and shit.
I was like when I play guitar, like I was just kind of self-taught, but
And
the
sometimes
guitar I was
am.
playing, I was like learning like at the gates and kill switch engage and
Anto
early
Bernstein.
metalcore and melodic death metal and stuff. So it was all I was into. So I was learning riffs like
Anto
that.
Hendrix.
And
He's lost his train of
yeah,
thought there.
but
now.
anyway,
Shoot,
I got a bass when I was 15, so I moved
Okay.
over to bass because I just kind of realised I always preferred the sound of bass in songs, and every now and again when a bass would just kind of break through.
Mm.
So I picked up a bass and kind of started playing more kind of groovier stuff, and a few years later discovered like Caius and shit like that. So yeah, I had a 4-string bass for years, for like I have it like 15 years, and then I got a new bass. Not last Christmas, the Christmas before.
And
It's
it's
like a little over a year.
Sexy bass.
Yeah, I got this sexy ESP
Mhm.
5-string bass,
Gotcha.
and took a little bit of kind of getting used to the different kind of format of the 5-string, but
It opened up
Yeah.
so much for us, though.
yeah, I love
Okay,
I love it
this
now.
This is it, yeah.
Mm.
Because now, like, I'll bring 2 guitars, one's in B and one's in C, but
Mm.
it just means he doesn't have to tune at all. He has to tune, but he doesn't have to change tunings.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
It's kind of helped me a good bit because when I let's
songwriting.
say
Like,
like
just
the
give us
five
more options.
the 5-string is in B, but then if some of our songs are in C and drop C, I have to play it a very different way on the neck
Okay.
than my old 4-string bass,
Right.
which is like this kind of same as a guitar. So it's kind of helped me understand the instrument a bit better and come up with kind of like I kind of see it in a new light or something.
Mm.
So that's been helpful. And plus it sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, like, kind of in relation to songwriting, are you still thinking as a 4-string or no? Going.
No. Fully is a 5-string, I think.
Fully fledged.
Yeah.
As the 4-string was the same tuning as a guitar, and it was kind of very similar along, just like if I was playing guitar.
Yeah. No, it's
So
just something
it's
that's
changed.
kind
It has opened up like the songwriting a bit. Like in the intro to Stampede, Alex was playing these chords, and it's like I think I kind of filled it out a bit, or played a few notes under like a little run, and that kind of came about with that, I guess.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's been good. It's been a good development.
It's just funny, like listening to even the way you're speaking about how you write your music now, compared to if you'd asked us when we first started. It was like, well, we'll play on the 3rd fret,
Yeah.
and then we play on the 5th, and then on the 12th.
Yeah, we played this riff, and
Yeah.
then
We
go to
played-
that
we-
riff,
we
and then go
played
to the
this riff
first one and
until
play
we
it
get
slower.
tired of it.
Yeah.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
Like we had a song that was called the Good Song because it was
we,
like
we shouldn't talk about this.
Nah, I'm not going to talk about it for any more than this, but like, it was called the Good Song because it was the only one that actually had fucking structure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's how bad it was.
And for the record, I still think it was a good song.
It's not a good song.
No, it's terrible.
It's shite.
It's actually, ironically enough, a bad song.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
How many songs now are you looking at fitting in a playlist?
Well, that's
For-
one good thing. We
for a
kind of have
set.
enough now. We can kind
Per
of
set,
change
yeah, yeah.
around for
Yeah.
a set.
Yeah,
It is handy.
Like-
Because
Yeah.
we
It's
have,
nice
we have
as well.
we have a few like different sets, because it's often either half an hour, 40 minutes, or if you're really lucky, you get to play an hour.
Mm.
And we have enough material now to easily play all of those, and
Yeah.
we could even play for like over an
yeah.
hour.
Whereas before we used
Not
to be
that anybody wants to
we
to
used
play
to
for
be a
over
bit
an hour.
stretched before where we could play the whole EP, and then that's like a half an hour or maybe 40 minutes.
Worse than that, we used to have about 3 songs, 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and be given
then
these
just
like half an
fucking-
hour slots, and just been like,
Have
We'd
a
often
jam.
have to we'd
Yeah.
often have to throw in like an old song, and now like we don't have to do that. We can play more the new stuff, and even like the new album now would be like an hour.
as well.
And a couple of songs from the old EP. So
Yeah.
You play a set
enough.
for long enough, you kind of get tired of some songs. You can switch them out with old.
Of course, yeah. Any ones in particular of the new album that you're just fucking weak to play?
Oh,
I
I'm looking forward to playing
The
the
finisher.
last song. It's
Yeah.
retro.
I can't wait to play that live.
Which one? Last one.
It's called Retrograde / Ode to an Orb. It's like
Right.
a 11,
10
12, 13 minutes.
that's
song.
that's the big
11
epic
minutes song.
closer to the
That's the
album.
closer.
Yeah,
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 okay,
yeah.
it's a natural
It's-
choice,
it's,
yeah.
It's probably the.
It's actually
it's
it
the only one
not-
we
it-
haven't played.
It nods a
and
little bit
so
more
too.
to a little bit more to the EP, to that sound of like you know, sort of. I hate the phrase stoner metal. I hate it, but
Yeah,
it's
but it's
kind-
like
it's
it's slow and groovy. You know?
groovy,
Yeah, it's a
You
big,
know?
it's a big
Yeah.
kind of.
but it's cool.
Yeah,
it's
can't wait
like
to play it.
stoner doom and.
Because
Like it's that and it's the only one with a guitar solo, and it breaks up into these slow parts and stuff, and it's a really fun one to play.
yeah,
I
I've
look
got to
forward
say,
playing
Alex does a friggin' solo on this album.
Yeah, it's
Hello.
Yeah, cool,
Yeah,
man.
and he does it.
Not-
It's a lovely solo,
Not,
isn't
not,
it?
not, not
Fair
too big
play.
of a fan of solos, it seems, but like I still like it. It's a great solo. So more of that
Yeah. And
from time to time, maybe.
So that's the last song on the album, and that's your current favourite.
Well,
No,
maybe
No, I
not.
wouldn't say
no.
favorite song, like, but
it's one of two that we haven't played live yet. So
Yeah.
there's
Okay.
another
Yeah.
song as well that we haven't played yet.
1 ton soup.
Yeah, looking forward
Clever.
to unleashing that as well.
10-ton slug, 1-ton slug.
Yeah.
yeah.
Heavy shit.
1 ton bat soup.
Yeah,
That one is very much of like the new sound, the new
New
TOOM
sound.
sound.
We found the new sound.
we
Metal.
finally found the new sound.
There's some triplets and metal riffs.
It's just chunky,
Chunky
chunky.
breakdown.
It's a song about the devil cooking you up in a wok, a
Right,
frying
yeah.
pan, and it's basically you get turned into soup, and the devil then serves you on a plate.
Yeah,
That's
Devil
great,
Chef.
isn't
A plate.
You
a
haven't
plate of soup.
drifted too far lyrically wise then.
Oh, the
from the
lyrics.
Biscuit Queen.
I love the lyrics
We're silly as
across
fuck.
the album. Yeah.
That's
They,
great.
we're like Stampede's about. I don't know if you read the lyrics, but
Yeah,
it's about
hopes and fucking.
getting trampled to death by a herd of cows.
Yeah.
Like, it's metal, but it's also Irish.
Are they
Yeah.
Irish cows though?
Oh, they're Irish.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's
best believe.
important.
yeah, head
Good
for
strong heifers.
head for cows. Prime.
Oh, lads, no, it's fucking a difficult one to even kind of go there, but I mean, how soon can we expect this fucking thing to lift, you know?
Yeah, that is a big
We
question.
feel like we've been sitting on this for so long.
Yeah.
It's taken longer than we
We-
expected or thought.
we
we-
wanted to release ages ago.
We wanted it to be
Well,
like
when we thought it
Christmas,
would be.
Halloween.
Fucking hell, here's one. Curse Monk Records.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
As a class
On
t-shirt.
about t-shirts.
Finally a good t-shirt.
I'm wearing a Curse
Literally-
Monk t-shirt.
Yeah, they were listening to some of the
Sick.
back catalogue on the way down in the car.
Yep.
Stoked
to be releasing it with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been
Shout
been,
out to Roger.
Big shout out.
Yeah, big shout out. It
What was the name of the band we listened on the way down? Old Worms.
Old Worms, this Belgian band.
Yeah.
Kind of like instrumental.
We were trying to pin it
progressive
down in the
sludge
car.
kind of thing.
It's
very
there's
interesting
elements of
sound.
Deftones. There's like black metal.
Yeah,
It's progressive.
really,
it's sludge.
really good music.
Yeah,
Right.
good
Yeah,
music.
it's a really cool label. Like
Yeah,
kind of like a true underground label as well. And
yeah, and just good shit across the board. Really, like
and varied.
varied.
like
Yeah,
it's varied, but it's
Like
all
Lothhammer is
it's all
something
dark.
else.
I was just about
and
to mention
kind
them,
of from dark and aggressive to I don't know,
Yeah.
dark and ambient and
Like Weed Priest are on there.
We Priest. Yeah,
Of
Mm.
Do
course,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
like,
that's
and
right.
that,
Yeah.
but,
and then you got Roger's like his ambient
yeah,
ritual
the-
music as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's
Um,
right. Yeah. How did you come across Roger?
He came across us, I suppose you'd
we
say.
we played a gig in Galway in 2018.
Valpurgis.
Quite soon after
Val-
the release of the EP,
yeah.
I think.
Valpurgis night on May
Yeah.
Bank Holiday weekend.
Run by
Okay.
Hexen
We,
House.
we actually
Yeah,
got the
nice.
gig off the back of the release of the EP.
Yes.
And that is a night that actually didn't happen last year, or I don't know if it's happening this year. Probably nothing's happening this year, but yeah, like an all dayer. We played at that.
He was
and-
playing in Stonecarver. Roger was.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, great band.
So-
Mm.
and it's funny. He
Serious.
he
He,
came up. I
we were
think-
all on the same bill.
we were talking to him afterwards, or I saw him anyway, I think, around the merch stand, and I was saying, "Oh man, your band is fucking class! Like, really loved it. I loved Stonecarver's sound." And then I got a message from him, like a day or two afterwards,
A few days later, yeah.
and was like, "Oh, I actually run a label, and interested or want to know if you guys would like to sign." And we're like,
No brainer.
Yes.
Of
we
course.
we were all kind
Hell
of like,
yeah.
fuck, like, yeah, probably,
yeah,
I'm
definitely.
sure.
But
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
But which EP had you at that stage behind you? Was it
The-
Yeah.
that was it. Just
Okay.
That would have been probably just released a month before that, and then
Yeah.
we
Okay.
played
April
Valpurgis night.
2018.
now it's
That was our first gig outside Limerick as well, I believe, and our only one.
First
in
and
Galway
only
so
Galway.
far.
Yeah.
Only one in Galway.
Actually, you were amongst friends in Galway, anyway.
Mm.
There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it there.
I would a huge thanks to him because that
Mm.
Yeah.
like we were obviously going to keep on writing music. We were going to keep on doing this as like we're going to keep on playing as a band until one of us loses a hand or something. But like
Nearly there.
But that was a serious, like,
I just
kind
drilled a
of
hole in my finger.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, him offering us that and like that gave us like a
real lift.
confidence in our music to
Yeah.
just be like
Things
we
have kind of
should
like
write more.
steamrolled since then, and so
Yeah.
So I think hats off to Rog for giving us that opportunity and for instilling us with the confidence to write more music.
Yeah.
And that like lit a fire under our ass and got us writing
time.
music.
Big time.
We listened to like the back catalogue and we're like, okay, let's fucking do something new.
yeah, we can't wait to release something on.
We've hit a lot of speed bumps, so to speak, in terms of like, life throws things at you. We would have had it released sooner, but like, certain things have happened.
I think
Yeah.
if we're to give like, we can't give a date obviously, but like in the next couple of months, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I'd say that's literally.
We've
a couple
said
of
that
months now.
4 times.
Yeah. But
Couple of
the,
months,
The other
lads.
thing is like everything is really seems to have been. It's pretty much finished now.
Well, like we were over at Chris's house yesterday, day before yesterday,
I was there
and
yesterday.
we were listening to the sequencing of the running order, and we're literally tweaking, adding little samples here and there. Chris is adding some synth parts for transitions and songs and
Okay.
stuff.
But it's
So
very
it's-
close to
it's
being
like
sent to a master.
Yeah.
99%.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of mastering, Tony Fitz,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
he
Shout
mastered.
out.
I'm
He
wearing
did the
t-shirt.
last EP as well, didn't he, Tony?
No,
No.
that
it's
was.
Wav Limerick did.
Yes.
But-
Tony has done Cassavetes'
Oh, yeah.
Senselessness,
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
and
For a lot of Limerick bands.
wearing my Just Mustard t-shirt.
Just
Right.
must be, yeah.
And he's also been
he
great
did
to work
Wednesday.
with. Like we've kind of been blessed with the people we've collaborated with and
Yeah.
worked
Mm.
with us, and he's been fantastic with the process. Very
Yeah, he
helpful.
was really good to work with.
I sent him an
Very
email
helpful.
asking him if he'd be interested because I like a huge fan of Just Mustard. Wednesday is an amazing album.
Mhm.
Senselessness, of course, and sent him an email asking if he'd be interested, and he rang me like on the phone. Who does that anymore? Rang me and like
True, yeah.
had a conversation with me to figure out like what kind of sound we were after, and spoke to me like I'd never spoke to this guy ever before.
Yeah.
Had a good chat. Tried to figure things out, what sound he wanted to go for. Was so polite, so nice. 2 days later, sends back the mix, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
So like, hats off to you, Tony.
Mhm.
Yeah. Was that the mix for the album or the mix for the single?
For-
Single,
for the
yeah.
single,
Single,
but he'll be
okay.
doing the rest of the album as
Yeah.
well,
Okay, cool.
for sure.
That's
which
nice. Yeah.
which will be happening soon.
Yeah.
We promise.
And
Honest.
we can't talk about fucking mythical gigs in the future because
Oh man,
you know, what the fuck, lads? It's
if we're lucky,
Society-
we'll get a zombie outbreak and
Society is over.
steal a few tellies or something.
End of days, man.
in the days, yeah.
Yeah,
On the-
it's
on
so-
the
yeah,
plus
something
side,
that hadn't even occurred to me. Like the siege, like I don't know,
Oh,
didn't
that
even I was gonna say it seems like this kind of
gonna-
untouchable thing, but
I'm
even
gonna
beyond
cry.
that, I
I'm
didn't
gonna
even
cry, man.
consider that it wouldn't happen.
Full of, we were going to be able to play with. Well, let's not be selfish about it, but I'm going to be selfish about it.
We will be selfish. Say it, man.
Getting
Fuck
to play with Full of Hell and Primitive Man was not to mention the rest of the bands like internationally. Fucking
incredible.
Razor
lineup.
Sharp Death Blizzard from Scotland coming over.
Oh fuck that!
The
thing
whole
is over,
the whole
that's
fucking
right.
lineup.
But wait,
Everyone
Shout
playing.
out to Jamie. Hey, shout out to Jamie again on
shout
the
out
show,
to Jamie. You're
man.
a dude. But
what can you say, Jamie?
they made the right choice. It has to be done.
Yeah,
It's out of everyone's hands.
But look, I
Everyone's
mean, that
freshly
lineup,
sanitized hands.
that lineup,
It was
Oh, yeah,
immaculate.
Shout out to the hand
Perfect.
sanitizer.
It was fucking immaculate.
Yeah.
Shout out to the hand sanitizer.
did you spray it on your hand before you shook my hand?
I did freshly sanitize. When before I got out of the car, I was like, "Lads, fresh hand sanitizer."
Well, although you actually put it on my hand, and then you took some off my hand and put it on your hand.
I didn't touch it. I only touched the hand sanitizer, man. So
I
it's
felt
all
I felt
good.
contact.
But no, look,
It's all
it's a
good.
shame that like it says postponed. Hopefully, I mean the guys in Bad Rep, they know what the fuck they're doing. They're
course
professionals.
they
They
Yeah.
put on the best shit. Shouts out to Bad Rep.
Yeah.
But like,
And yeah,
we'll see what happens. No one knows.
A lot of promoters right across the country that
On-
are involved in the Irish
I
metal
was meant to.
scene.
Me and my girlfriend were meant to go and see and so I watch you from afar.
Yeah.
That got cancelled.
fucking Napalm Death.
Oh
Cancelled.
man, Ocus. I was gonna fucking see Ocus. One of my
But-
favorite bands in the country. You know?
Focus are unreal.
Yeah.
There's,
So look,
there's
I
a lot of
mean,
uncertainty, but we have to
I
play,
know,
play
but,
it week
yeah.
by week and day by day.
it's
Play it by
important. It's important to kind of
On the
send
plus-
a
on-
shout out to all those promoters
yeah.
right up and down the country. I mean,
Do you know, I was talking to Evan from Worn Out, and he, like, just a couple of days ago on Facebook, and he was saying that, you know, he has just booked his tour.
that's right. Yeah.
So, sorry, dude. That
Yeah.
sucks. I
I
hope
know
everything
that,
gets...
that's the thing we were thinking about, like, obviously booking gigs and dates in support of the album, and we're kind of just at that point now, so we hadn't anything kind of
We'll
solidly down,
stream a
but-
tour.
Yeah.
We'll just...
It
we'll just
seems
Live stream
yeah,
from
a
the
lot,
box.
a lot
it's-
of people are doing it. Chromags, there's a lot of bands doing it. you know?
Shardborn last night. Did you see?
Oh,
that?
yeah.
I put a link on Facebook.
I saw the
They-
link, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I watched a bit of it, but watched a good bit of it. But that's a cool idea. I mean, like the wonders of the internet, we can still do shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and this still do this like. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, like, that's it. You can
People at
still
home,
tune
we
in.
2020.
can bring it to them.
Mm.
What time to be alive?
What time?
And on the plus side, like I mean, like
What a time
society's
to die.
turning into a real life video game or film. It's exciting times.
Yeah.
Yeah, having conversations about infected zones like this
Jesus
is mad.
Christ. Yeah.
And of course, us metalers are really fucking handsy lads. You know what I mean? Hand hugs, fucking. You know, it's,
Hand hugs,
yeah.
it's what we do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
body
Fist
handshakes.
You know, fucking
Body
fist
shake.
bumps.
Body shakes.
Body drinkers.
You know, are we the
Blood.
first? Are we the first that are going to fucking start tumbling and falling? You know?
Hell no.
Oh, no.
Ah,
We're big sturdy boys.
I think the swingers are the first to go.
yeah.
You heard it first.
Filthy sludgy boys like us got strong immune systems.
That,
exactly,
I think metalheads
exactly.
are sorted,
Come
right?
at me, virus.
I just washed my hair today. But
Fair play.
that's the first time in 2 weeks I washed my hair. So
Okay.
I think,
Virus ain't got nothing on that.
yeah, we're well used to being
Yeah,
infected with other shit.
I like to tread the fine line between hygiene and non-hygiene. So I think,
Mm.
yeah, my immune system is
Smell bag.
is used to dealing with shit.
Bands need to fucking practice as well. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a big area in Cork where they all meet and play up there. in
Well,
some
we-
part.
Yeah, what's
We
what's that
practice
called?
in an isolated zone where nobody
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, and isolated anyway.
It's pretty horrible.
Yeah, we practice in like what's essentially
Shipping
a shipping
container.
container. And there's nobody else there, so that's kind of
So if anybody wants to, well, no, don't come.
no, don't stay away.
It's our place. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
Leave us.
It's our place.
Dwell in
Yeah.
isolation. Yeah.
So like, yeah, we'll do what we can do. And
Well, none of us are infected,
No.
Yeah.
so we can just keep on
As
playing.
far as we know.
As far as we know.
or we just keep it to us and just like,
Hang out in the little infected practice box.
Yeah. And keep playing the fucking tunes, lads. Thanks for risking your lives for coming down
No worries, man.
here and having a chat.
always up for risk in my life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And congratulations again on Stampede.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic, man.
Thank you.
Looking forward to plugging. Actually, yeah. So the Stampede single will be on this podcast. So yeah, enjoy it. And thanks
Sweet.
again to the lads for that. and looking forward to your merchandising.
It'll be better this time.
We promise.
We promise. No more blue t-shirts.
No.
So you've been listening
Strictly
to TOOMS on this strange time that we're going through at the moment.
Perfect time for us.
Yeah. Weird times.
And
For weirdos.
think of all the people that are out there. Hope everybody is safe, and keep supporting metal in whatever form. Get their Bandcamp page, get them, buy a t-shirt, do something.
Wash your hands.
And
Support
wash
the
your hands
podcast,
and
support the bands.
support everything metal. That's it.
Watch your favourite bands.
So this is Richie from
The middle page.
podcast saying take care, thanks for listening, over and out.
Peace.
Please,
Au revoir.
Thanks.